India and abroad as well. She started her journey in 2016 when she self-published her first book, titled Seven Vows of Marriage, on Amazon Kindle. Ms. Devika has featured as a speaker at Hyderabad Literary Festival, Kochi Literary Festival, and at many other such events. In addition to being an author, Ms. Devika also pursues her passion for acting and is an active theatre artist in Hyderabad. Ms. Devika strongly believes and is working towards spreading the message that art is a good choice and that people must passion at least one kind of art form to develop a healthy mind. Now, without taking much of the time, and with immense pride and adulation, I would like to welcome Ms. Devika Das to take over the stage. And in this opportunity, I would also like to thank our promotional partner, IBS Messenger. Now, ma'am, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Pravina, for a wonderful introduction. And thank you, IBS Hyderabad, for inviting me for this talk. Effect and importance of truth telling. Truth is stranger than fiction. Truth and honesty, two terms used interchangeably, are different concepts. Seeking truth or finding truth is a lifetime experience because it is based on an individual's belief systems. On the contrary, honesty refers to the practice of not telling lies. See, all of us have lied at some stage of our life. When people say that you should not lie, it is good. Our parents have taught us this value that don't lie. But is it possible to live your life without even telling one lie, a single lie? I don't think so. It is possible. It is very unlikely. It is possible, but very unlikely. A lie has several shades: lies, half-truth, misinterpretation, etc. Lies may be divided into two distinct motivational categories: pro-social lies, which are constructed to benefit other people, and anti-social lies, which are said in order to fulfill selfish goals. We must also understand what is a fact. Facts are not truths because it is a logical deduction of situations and events. Now, I remember that at the age of 18, when I was graduating from school, we had a slang book given by the school authorities, and they asked us, "What is your aim in life?" To my surprise, I had written, "I want to be a good human being." At the age of 18, and I think even before that, I took up writing at the age of 13. And since then, my only mission has been that I have to be a good human being. I should never give up my human values, my moral values, in order to achieve selfish goals. So, a question I used to ask myself: what does it mean to live life free of guilt? And how should I conduct my life in order to pursue a virtuous life? Everybody must have heard that honesty is a virtue. And it is, I am telling you, through my experience, I will tell you that it is very difficult to practice this virtue, honesty, at all stages of life. It is a very difficult path, but it is not impossible. The answer which I got is that I must be honest to have a clear conscience, regardless of what the world believes and the numerous hardships that lie in my path as a deterrent. Enjoying a good night's sleep is the outcome of leading an honest life. Many a times we complain that we did not sleep well, we were tossing and turning because something was bothering our mind. That will not happen if you seek truth and if you live an honest life. However, in today's world, instead of seeking truth, their own truth, people are more interested in proving that only their belief system is correct and the others' belief systems are wrong. It has created a sense of restlessness, a lack of empathy, and narrow-mindedness. Now, what happens if we take refuge in lies? When we lie, we also have to cover it up. So what happens is one lie leads to another, followed by several other lies. You must have heard the story of a boy who cried wolf. It was a very, it was a very popular story in our childhood. Especially in our moral science class, this chapter was there, right? You also must have heard about it.
Yes.
So, what happens in this story? To amuse himself, a shepherd boy sings, "Wolf, wolf," and the villagers run up the hill to help him. But when they don't see any wolf, they get angry. But what does he do? He laughs around and says, "Buddhu Banaya, I fooled you, I fooled you." And he has a lot of pleasure. Despite repeated warnings from the villagers, the boy continues doing this notorious act. One day, a real wolf attacks his flock of sheep. He cries for help, but none of them come. Watching him cry profusely, an old man says, "We will look for your sheep in the morning tomorrow. Just remember, nobody believes a liar, even when he is telling the truth." That is the importance of truth telling and honesty. You all are students. I was a student once. I am sure everybody has bunking classes. Obviously, we bunk classes for a momentary joy, for a temporary joy. But what happens is if we are caught, then there are two possibilities. Either we tell the truth and face the punishment from the teacher, or we continue telling lies, covering it up, and dig a pit for ourselves from where there is no return. So, which path is better, you decide. Now, I have done a lot of research in psychology. That is what my book, The Mind Game, also talks about. It is based on a psychological research. So I did a research on the topic, why do we lie? Is lying a natural behavior or not? So researchers at the University College London and Duke University discovered that the amygdala, which is the portion of the brain which harbors our emotions, that part gets distressed and signals negative feelings when we lie for the first time. However, when we choose to cover up that lie in variety of situations, it stops experiencing stress and adapts to the new behavior, which makes it easier for us to lie. All habits process through four stages in the same order, which is first one is cue, second one is craving, third one is response, fourth one reward. This four-step pattern is the backbone of every habit, and your brain processes these steps every time you harbor or you cultivate a new behavior. Coming back to the topic, lying is a learned behavior and not a natural one like hunger, thirst, laughter. You must have seen children learn to lie as young as 3 years old. You just cry without any reason. And if you get attention, you continue that behavior. Though you don't want attention, you don't need it, but you still cry. And you get a response. You get a response. So you continue that behavior. You think it is right. So you continue doing it. How do we learn about lying or anything about truth, lying, any sort of behavior? From adults, our peers, and the media. This habit of lying must be curbed in childhood itself, because as we grow up, it only gets reinforced. Now, why do we lie? We lie because we want something, or we fear that we might lose something. For example, if you want more power, you have won a competition. You have won a competition, you want to win it next year, but you have got a challenger in the next year. You will try to find out it. There are two ways. Either you work hard and you challenge the opponent, or you take the shortcut. Which one is easy? obviously taking the shortcut. So this is a behavior we are tempted. Lying is a temptation for us. It often originates in insecurity. But I would like to say, since you all are students, once you learn to trade integrity with gain, it is a downhill slide for you. You will resort to unethical means because that will become your attitude and that will become your behavior. A lie is not just a playful aberration, but it is an act of planned dishonesty for the sake of advantage. You are trading your integrity for some gain. All liars are scared of some terrible fate. In the long run, no one ever progresses or flourishes based on lies. The mental health gets affected. They experience emotional distress. They lose friends. And at the end, you are alone and isolated. You don't get any support. The bigger the scam, the bigger the man who takes his life to prevent public shaming. Many people have committed suicides because they lied at some and they could not bear the guilt of lying. So why should you adopt such a lifestyle? That is my question. A lie distorts our inner and outer world. To seek truth, we should master our soul, our being, and our brain, and we must confidently choose to think ethically and choose honesty. It is not easy, but it is not impossible. Once we are determined to speak, think, and act only in truth, the habit of telling a lie gets rooted out forever. Why is honesty the best policy? We have heard this proverb so many times. Because it helps us understand the deeper meaning of an issue which is there in front of us. It ensures that you are confronting yourself so that you can continue to walk on a path which will develop a growth mindset. When you are honest with everyone, during the hard times, people will come and support you. There is nothing to lose when you are honest. But when you lie and when you resort to lying, obviously things end up getting worse. Another factor, how do you identify an honest individual? Just look in the mirror and just see your reflection. If you are an honest individual, your head will be upright. You will look directly at your image. There will be a glow on your face and your voice will not quiver. You will not stammer because honesty gives you the confidence that you can battle with any challenge. Leading an honest life leaves you with very few friends, but it fills your world with eternal peace and makes your life worth living. There is a saying, there is a phrase that Sri Ramakrishna Paramahansa used to say, Lajja Ghrina Bhoy Teen Thakte Noy. The English translation of this is shame, hatred, fear are the biggest deterrents of seeking truth. If you don't have these evils in your life will be peaceful. And you will be walking on a path that will help you seek truth. Your belief system is different to my belief system. But does that change the truth or the path of seeking truth? No. We should respect each other's difference of opinion. That is how human beings will evolve. Why is there so much of problems nowadays? Because we are not ready to listen. We are not ready to engage in a dialogue where difference of opinions exist. What happens is, There is a contrary point of view. If somebody contradicts my point of view, I will become defensive. Why? Is my belief system so fragile that I can't support it even if somebody contradicts it? That means I should introspect. I should look into my belief system. What is it making weak? Why is a contradiction making it weak? If you believe that by lying you can win the world, it will be short-lived. Easiest example I will say, corruption. If you are caught in a traffic signal, what will you do? You will bribe the traffic policeman. You will say, instead of getting punished and giving the amount of challan. So again, you have taken the shortcut. But you have broken the law, which not only disturbs your ethical principles, it also makes doing the wrong things legitimate. It legalizes. You can very well say that my friend also took a shortcut and achieved success. I can also do the same. But nowadays what has happened is we have seen people committing suicides at the age of 35, 40. The whole, we are not able to live peacefully till I don't know about when I will turn 70 or 80. What will be the situation then? Because we are we are growing up, we are surrounded by an environment where telling lies has become acceptable. We don't protest when somebody is lying. We have accepted it with open arms. It is disturbing the human balance. That is why I say that lying has created fake person duality. It has given rise to duality. I don't know whether you will agree or not, but there are trust issues nowadays. You have trust issues. It is not easy to trust a person within the first meeting itself. But you can recognize a genuine and honest person when you meet that person in the first meeting. There is a vibe, there is a positive energy, a positive aura around that person. So isn't that kind of a life better? But what do? We take the shortcut. We try to think that life is easy. Your challenges, my challenges are different. It is not the same. So how can I say that your level of success and my level of success will be same? Why am I comparing myself with you? Everyone has come with a unique purpose of life. And I also believe in another thing, that your heaven and hell is here in your present life, not after your death. The amount of kindness, empathy, and social support that you show will return as a reward in the form of good wishes and blessings. Right now we are so confused. We are still ignorant because we get influenced. Why? It is not wrong to be influenced. But why are we turning a blind eye to the negativity? Why don't we have the strength to oppose negative energy? That strength comes from telling the truth. That is why truth telling is important. If you yourself have a clear conscience, only then you can question the other. You cannot point fingers at another person if you yourself are not correct. Simple example. Forwarding a message on WhatsApp or social media. How immediately when we receive a message we forward it without checking its authenticity. What does it create? It creates a loop of misinformation. Is it a right act to do? It is unethical. It is inhuman. But what do we do? Are we stopping this habit? We have got trapped into a pool of misinformation. Now we are questioning the truth itself because we ourselves are so confused what we want from our lives. If I ask you, you are studying in IBS Hyderabad, what is your aim in life? What will you say? What will you say, Pravina? What is your aim in life?
To become successful in whatever I do.
Okay. Who defines the meaning of success for you? Is it your parents? Is it your colleagues? Is it your society people or relatives? Who decides the meaning of success? And who said you are not successful now?
I personally believe whatever I do, if I feel like I succeed in it, that is the meaning of success for me.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thank you.
But you have faced a lot of challenges in proving yourself. Many people take up this challenge with open arms. Many people just give up and try to fulfill other people's dreams. Be true to yourself first. Introspect and try to understand what you want from life. Your life is not your neighbor's child's life. If your neighbor's child is excelling in academics, does not mean you also have to do the same. Like many people tell me, my batchmates have become vice presidents of the company. They have become senior managers, vice presidents of the company. And where are you? I say I measure success in three terms. One is I have done everything on my own terms and conditions. I have not followed anybody. Whatever challenges have come in life have made me a better person and have made me better prepared for the future challenges. And ethics has got me respect. I have earned respect from my people and the people I know. That is that is the meaning of life that I have. The people who are successful, even they say that we are impressed by you because you are leading your life on your own terms. It has not been easy. There were various challenges. I had to oppose family. I had to oppose family. I had to break off ties with few relatives, few family members. But I said nothing doing. My life will be based on ethical principles. And if I happen to witness any unethical incident in front of me, I am not going to keep quiet. I may be the lone warrior. I'm ready to do that. I don't mind. Because you come alone, you die alone. On the path of seeking truth, you meet trespassers who may or may not influence your personality. But at the end, you will have to answer to yourself. That sense of guilt kills you every day. It is a terrible life. It is a terrible life if if you harbor that sense of guilt. People don't understand that now, and people very casually they lie, but they don't understand. Many a times it has also been said that if you lie for the of others, that is a pro-social lie. It is good. Suppose I have lied in order to help my friend come out of a situation. It's fine. But what happens when the friend learns about the truth that I had lied? What will be? How will you explain that why you lied? You will have to give a lot of reasons, a lot of excuses, and that is when you start making excuses. So why resort to it? Gandhiji had said, "Bura mat dekho, bura mat suno, bura mat karo, bura mat bolo." But what are we doing? We have just become indifferent. इतनी बुराई हमारे हमारे चारों तरफ है. We have just turned a blind ear, a deaf ear, and a blind eye. It doesn't matter to us anymore. So, what kind of a future are we establishing? You all will become parents one day. What values will you tell your children? What will be the value system which you will give pass on to the children? If there is strong reason to oppose, if you find something terribly wrong happening around you, raise your voice. Tell the truth. That is where the real power of education lies. Otherwise, there is no difference between educated and literate. You are just illiterate. You are not educated. What is the difference between you and a slum dweller? If you, despite your educational capabilities, cannot stand up for the truth, then this education is meaningless. Thank you so much, and I hope and I wish all the best to all of you that you become successful in your career. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we'll open the floor for questions.
Yeah.
In case anyone has any queries, please do mention it in the chat box and we can go from there. We have, okay.
So if you have any question, you can open it.
Ma'am, have you had any experience in life where you had to lie
Yes,
to get
of
out of
course.
situations?
Yes, it was very early in life, like when I was in school at that time. We had bunked class in order to go for a movie.
Okay.
We lied, and we went for the movie. We lied to our parents. We lied to the teacher. So nobody knew that we have gone for a movie. So I was, I think, in ninth or tenth standard. Yeah. So we had gone, but after that, when we were caught, we had to face. Unfortunately, we were caught. So, but I think those are the little thrills of life. I don't say I don't deny that having done that, I don't have any regrets because I faced the punishment. So it's fine. If you lie, then you should be ready to
Face the consequences.
accept the consequences. And many a times, what happens is in spirituality also they talk about karma bhog. Many a times, your evils, the evils that you do, are not. You don't have to pay for it. Somebody else from your family pays for it. So why create a hell for the other people in your family? If you love your family, be honest. And but honesty is a virtue, as I said. I think we should again have moral science as a class in graduation also.
Yes, ma'am.
It is very much needed. I think we should not limit. imparting moral science lectures only in school, because whatever we have learned in school, we don't practice it when the situations actually come in front of us.
Definitely, ma'am. I think we have few questions, ma'am. We'll go with it.
Yeah, sure.
We have a first question about how to respond in case of an ethical dilemma by Akash sir.
Hi, Akash. So it's a very good question. Ethical dilemma. You have to be very mindful when you are in an ethical dilemma. Why will you resort to telling a lie or telling the truth at that time? What is what is at stake basically in that situation? If you tell a lie, what will happen? If you tell the truth, what will happen? Obviously we are tempted. We are tempted towards telling a lie. But have we ever tried telling the truth and then seeing what is the consequence? I think we don't experiment it because it is so deeply ingrained in our system right from our childhood that it is perfectly fine if you lie. And if you have the ethical dilemma, means that by nature you want to tell the truth. Otherwise, you won't have an ethical dilemma. The choice is completely yours. What you do. I would suggest tell the truth, because what worse can happen? You will be shouted at, or you will lose a friend. But at least you have told the truth and you are not guilty conscious. You don't have that feeling of guilt. Like I gave an example. What has happened with social media, especially Facebook and Instagram? It has made people believe that okay, we have another life. So people will post pictures from a vacation where they went 3 years ago.
Yes.
But what it does is it creates an inferiority complex in the mind of the person who is viewing it. Nobody bothers to check the facts. Nobody bothers to check the facts. That is one major problem of the educated class in the present scenario. If we are educated, if we are privileged, we should have the right to question and right to check the fact of any information that we are consuming. Why act like a blind follower? If that person has lied, and like many a times I have experimented it myself. When I post something about a quote, or a quote about happiness, or any quote which is a motivational quote, that will get a lot of likes. But when I talk about something truth, which is a dark truth, people don't like it. Because, that is one more thing I would like to say. Why do we associate terms like dark, uncomfortable with truth? Because we have been fed it. It has been fed in our system. Obviously, speaking the truth requires a lot of courage. So, you choose the path. I hope I have answered your question, Akash.
Definitely, ma'am. We have another question, ma'am. It is, what are your thoughts on white lie, a lie which serves a positive purpose by Biswapratim sir?
As I said, pro-social lie or white lie, it might it might help you to handle the situation at the present. But what will happen if you or the person concerned finds out that you lied? There will be a moment of disturbance, or you yourself will know that you have not told the truth. You must tell the truth. You will have that urge of telling the truth. See, I lied, and you have to confess. You have to make a confession at that time. Then In the church also we have a confession room. Many people visit it because they lied at the present moment. They thought it was the best thing to lie at that moment. But later they realized they regretted and made a confession. So this realization will happen only when you have a sense of conscience. Your conscience is alive. But what happens is if you get into the habit of lying, this conscience dies. Like I said, the amygdala gets habituated. That okay, it is perfect to lie. So what happens? We get into the habit of lying. Then we don't realize whether we are lying or whether we are telling the truth. The difference cannot be understood.
Yeah.
But when you lie, if you have felt even a sense of discomfort after lying, you must own up to yourself at least. You must introspect right at that moment and ask yourself, how should I how should I tell the truth? You will get an answer.
Definitely, ma'am. Do we have any other questions? We do have one question. Sometimes lie is better than truth in some situations. So, what to do in such situations? By Aditya sir.
So Aditya, it is the same thing of ethical dilemma. Sometimes it is better to lie. Yes, it is better to lie because we have been told so. Do we feel if you have an objective view, would you support lying? Because it is a deep rooted problem now. We just imagine right from our childhood to whatever our age is now, to 20 and 20 plus. So basically 20 years you have been listening or hearing that lying is fine, or this kind of lie is fine, that kind of lie is not fine. See, either it is white or black. If you leave the gray areas, if you leave a gray area, or if you try to explore the gray area, you will be in a problem. Nobody else. You have to decide. This question is also coming because we have been taught that it is good to lie in some situations. Maybe because of fear of losing prestige in the society. But what does it do? As a human being, what does it do? Will you forgive yourself? Will you be able to look in the mirror and look at your reflection with a directly? Can you do that? Try doing that. After lying, try doing that. You won't be able to raise your head. Like the phrase of Ramakrishna Paramahansa that I said, Lajja Ghrina Bhaya Teen Thakte Nahi. Means if you have shame in your life, you will always walk with your head bowing down. You can never raise your head. If shame is there, if you have done something which incites shame, then you cannot walk with your head held high. If you have if you are fearing something of some consequence, obviously your conscience is crumbled and you are not putting honest effort because you fear the consequences. And third, hatred. If you hate, if your activity involves hatred, what is the consequence? Everybody knows. I don't have to pronounce it clearly. Like what happens is, just imagine if there is no fear. Like what is the biggest fear? What is the biggest fear? Why do we fear failure? Because it has been instructed by so many people. We have been listening that failure is not good. Just try to change the narrative. Just say, if as a child You were given that opportunity to try each and everything. Even if you failed, wouldn't you have been a happier person now?
Yes.
What does it mean? What does it mean? What is important in your life? As a child, we might not, as a child, even if we are 5 years, by the age of 5, we understand what is right or wrong. If you think children are fools, children are not fools. Especially today's kids are not fools. My God. I have nieces, nephews. They are not fools. At the age of 5, if you try to trick them, if you try to play tricks with them, they will come back at you and say, Auntie, you are doing the wrong thing. This is not to be done. Why do you want to kill the conscience of a person? By making him or her accept that lying is normal. Deception is a quality which is present in all the human beings. But it is our ability to control that urge of deception which makes us seek truth.
We have another question, ma'am.
Yes.
If we have to lie in a situation where someone is in need is benefited, how does one deal with the discomfort that they feel about lying, even when they have helped someone else? By Animesa.
Animesh, I would like to tell one thing. At that moment, you lie. It's fine. You have helped another person. To help another person, you have lied. But in the long run, just imagine whether your lie will help him or her in the long run. And if you are feeling guilty, you must confess to the person that at that, accept that you felt weak. You felt weak at that time, that's why you lied. Because you did not, whatever the situation, you did not want that person to break down. So you lied in order to give strength or motivate that person. We don't, like I said, we lie because we fear that we will lose somebody or we will lose something. That fear of loss, fear of losing makes us lie. So you have to explain if you want to get out of that guilty conscience, you have to explain to your friend that that was a lie and this is the truth. For example, many a times during economic financial transactions, we lie. There is a term taken advantage of or taking someone for granted. If you have made a person feel like that, you are the culprit and you have done a very unethical activity. You have taken somebody for granted. Yes, what happens is telling the truth will create a little bit of uh, bad moments or unpleasantness. But for the long term, at least you will earn that respect and earn that confidence that another person can come and confide in you because you are a true person. You are an honest person. Just imagine if somebody comes to know about you all will go and work one day. If somebody comes to know about your nature that you have accepted lying as a common virtue. It affects the way you work also because you will try to find excuses at your workplace also. It is a vicious circle, and you will never know when you have fallen a prey to it because once or twice or thrice you will feel that guilty conscience. You will feel that guilt that you have lied, but after 3 times it becomes a habit. Like I said, cue, craving, response, reward. If you are getting a favorable response for your lie, that becomes a habit. If you are rewarded for your lie, it becomes a habit. If you will be rewarded for your lie, you feel it is acceptable, but it does not help you seek truth because you can fool others, you can't fool yourself. Whatever I say about myself on social media, I might be making it up. It might be a fake profile, but I know what am I. Why get into that phase where I have to develop a dual personality? It creates a lot of mental stress because keeping pace with that dual personality is very tough. You have to constantly remind yourself, okay, on social media you are projecting yourself as something else, but your basic nature is something else. Why? Why do you want? Why not make life simpler? Because by telling the truth, the people who understand and who respect this quality of yours will be friends forever till your dying day because you have earned their respect. I'm again talking about self respect. Unless until you respect yourself, you cannot respect others. That's why I say that moral science, morals, and ethics should be taught in colleges all across the globe. Because on a global level, we are seeing a lot of injustices, lot of uh, like it is. I would say moral values are facing a decline all over the world. It is not only in India, all over the world. What have we done? What have we done till now? We should ask ourselves, what have you done till now? Like you said, Pravina, your success means what you define it. You have a separate definition, but how many people have it? Many people's definition of success is defined by what others have achieved. Why do that? Realize the unique part of you. You have a purpose of life. You have to realize it.
Definitely, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for asking a good question. All of you have asked good questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for those thought provoking words. But unfortunately, we have come to the end of the session. Vote of thanks. I, on behalf of IBS Hyderabad and everyone present in the audience, extend a very hearty thank you to Devika Das, Ms. Devika Das, for taking our time from her busy schedule and joining with us today to share her valuable knowledge and wisdom. This session was indeed very inspiring, and I'm sure many of us present here have gained insights about the benefits of truth telling. It's needless to say that the audience also thoroughly enjoyed from the interactive Q&A session we had. It's not every day that we get to be a part of such motivational lectures. So, ma'am, once again, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Thank
And
you.
also thank you to the audience for their patience and support. At last, but definitely not the least, I would like to thank our promotional partner, IBS Messenger. I would like to end this session with a quote, as ma'am rightly said, nobody believes a liar, even if they're telling the truth. IBS Hyderabad will keep coming with more such events. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.